I'm circular, I smell a little bit, I spit out poop, and I live between two cheeks. Am I the hole? The answer to that is yes, I am. But not the kind of hole that we're looking at today. We're looking at the people online who have done terrible things and have come out about it. They only feel comfortable to admit these things online. And I am here to decide whether they're in the right or in the wrong, because I am Lord Batch. That's right, technically I do have a Lord title and 4 stars. Am I an intergalactic Lord of the Stars? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm a slice of ham that you kicked under the fridge 3 years ago because you dropped it on the floor and couldn't be bothered to pick it up. And now I've started a YouTube channel under there. Maybe. That's all I'm saying. Am I the arsehole for telling an American woman she wasn't German? I'm a German woman, as in born and raised in Germany. I'm glad you cleared that up. Oh, I thought you meant a male germ. German. Anyway, I was traveling in another country and staying at a hostel, so there were people from a lot of countries. There was one woman from the US, and we were all just talking about random stuff. We touched the topic of cars, and someone mentioned that they were planning on buying a Porsche. The American woman tried to correct the guy, saying, "You know, that's wrong. It's actually pronounced..." Completely wrong way to pronounce it. I just chuckled and said, "No, he actually said it right." She just snapped and said, No, I'm German, okay? I know how it's pronounced. I switched to German. I have a very natural New York accent, so maybe she hadn't noticed I was German, and told her, "You know, that's not how it's pronounced." I have noticed that people from like Germany and Scandinavia, when they speak English, is it the transatlantic accent or whatever it's called, where they sound American? Like their way of speaking English is kind of in like an American accent. It's really interesting. Because I met this guy called German Julian. Big German Julian. His actual name was Julian, believe it or not. I met him in Rome and I thought initially he was American. Turns out it was all a figment of my imagination and I was tripping off. I licked the back of a toad by a pond outside my house. I wasn't even in Rome. So there's a lesson learned there. She couldn't reply and said, "What?" I repeated in English and I said, "I thought you said you were German." She said, "I'm German, but I don't speak the language." I asked if she was actually German or if her great-great-great-grandparents were German, and she said it was the latter. So I told her, "I don't think that counts as German, sorry," and he pronounced Porsche correctly. Who changed my name to ItalianBach? Come on, I was just Batch originally. Who changed my name to ItalianBach? The Italians don't claim me. Yeah, guys, I'm kind of guilty of this. I'm quarter Italian. It's just like an Italian breathed on me, really. I do have a nonno, but I'm not, I've got no right to be calling myself ItalianBach, but it just happened because I'm sure you heard the story before, but I was 8 years old making a gamer tag, hanging on to the fact that I was quarter Italian because it's way more spicy than being English. And I thought calling myself ItalianBach would be cool. And I put the Italian flag in my bio on Instagram for years. And when I made a FIFA career mode, I called my character Isacco. Just put an O on the end because I thought, oh, that sounds more Italian. So I'm the arsehole. She snapped and said I was being elitist and that she was as German as I am. I didn't want to take things further, so I just said okay and interacted with the other people. Later on, I heard from another guy that she was telling others I was an arsehole for correcting her and that I was a damn trying to determine who's German or not. Why did she react so heavily? Was it actually so offensive to tell her she was wrong? No, because this is... Okay, so here we go. First of all, I'm gonna give you the answer. No, you're not the arsehole. And I can say that because I'm a Lord of the Stars. So I'm coming from a point of hierarchy of everyone else in the universe here. And the reason being is because someone said Porsche or Porsche. I actually don't know how it's pronounced. I'm going to assume Porsche. She butted in and said, "Oh, that's not how you pronounce it. You pronounce it like this." And so if you put your neck on the line by correcting someone, you deserve to be corrected as well. Maybe you didn't have to go and say, "Oh, you're not a real German." I mean, she's got German heritage. Sure, you're more German than her. But then it's not a German competition. It's more just like, you're just correcting him wrongly. And you're saying, "Oh, I'm German, I know." But you don't even speak the language. So it's like, how do you know that's how you pronounce it if you can't even speak the language? That's my verdict. I'm curious to see what other people think. NTA. I now realise that NTA stands for not the arsehole. Before I thought it stood for nuts, tits, ass. And I was thinking, why is everyone just commenting that underneath? Absolutely nuts, tits, ass. Don't worry, I've learned. Okay, not the arsehole. You corrected her in a straightforward way, and her overreaction says more about her insecurities than anything you said. Claiming distant heritage doesn't make someone an expert, and you simply pointed that out. There you go. You corrected her in a straightforward way because she corrected somebody else. It's a correction of a correction. And 2 corrections make an incorrection. Does it? Oh no, because then I'm saying, forget about it. Forget about it. I don't even know my own name. Am I the arsehole for telling my ex I don't care if her daughter is crying about being left behind when my son's with me? Let me try and picture that because I'm actually a bit confused already. Oh, I guess there's a whole paragraph underneath, so I don't really need to understand the title, do I? 27-year-old male, was with my ex for 4.5 years. That's like 4.5, give or take. And we had our son, who's 6 years old, together. We broke up when he was 2 after I learned she cheated on me, and the baby she was carrying might not be mine. When her daughter was born, we did a DNA test for both kids. My son was mine, which I feel like I knew anyway, but it was also confirmed her daughter was not mine. She doesn't know who her daughter's father is, and I was asked by her parents and her sister to raise her as mine anyway, so the kids would be brought up the same. I said no. We weren't married, so it wasn't like I was the assumed father, which made it easier for me to just get 50% custody of my son and focus on being a dad to him. Things between us aren't good, and I don't play a role in her daughter's life. Exchanges are done quickly, and I don't engage when she tries to get me to interact with her daughter and asks me to consider including her. I have sent emails to keep documented proof that I am staying civil, but I don't want her daughter in my care, and communicating this with her mostly is not too bad. But lately she's been upping her efforts to get me in her daughter's life and get me to take her daughter on as my own. She even confronted me in a public space and told me her daughter cries when her brother leaves and that she wants to run up and hug me. But since she knows I won't be okay with that, she keeps her daughter anyway, but that it kills her. She said her little girl didn't choose this and she knows that she fucked up, but she cries so much over me and I can't see her as our son's sister and love her as my daughter for his sake, if not for hers. I told her I don't care. I did not make her daughter and I will not be responsible for raising her daughter. I told her to put the work into finding her daughter's father and leave me alone. Oh, this is a tough one. It's difficult because obviously you're going to resent your ex-partner. She cheated on you and her daughter is the product of that. And she's expecting you to raise that daughter, which I don't think it shouldn't be expected of you. But at the same time, it's such a tough one because the kid is so young that she doesn't understand that you're not her dad. So when she sees you collect her brother, treat her brother like your son, because that's what he is, probably really confusing for her. It's such a tough one because I understand both sides. Like I see where he's coming from, you know. It's not his child, and she was born when they weren't together, but the kid clearly wants a father figure. I don't know. I don't feel like I should shoot. It's such a difficult one. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments your opinion on this, because I'm really torn, because I can see where he's coming from. You know, you're cheated on by your ex and they have a kid when you're no longer with them, right? And you know this girl is not yours. But then at the same time, I feel like if this was me in his situation, I think I would get the daughter involved more and maybe play more of a father figure role, just because it's a kid that wants a father and is crying that you're not taking her out when you're taking her brother out and stuff like that. So I think I would probably end up raising that kid. But then I'm not saying that he's making the wrong decision or he's the arsehole, because it's such a complex situation. And I don't know if I can rule on that, guys. I may be the lord of the sky, but I'm not the lord of the people. I got nothing to say. I'm confused as it is. To be fair, I just had a brief look at the comments. A lot of people are saying that he's not the arsehole and it's normal for a kid to cry and have like FOMO when she sees her brother go out and stuff like that. But yeah, it's still such a complex one, that one. Am I the arsehole for exposing my boyfriend's friend after he repeatedly tried to sleep with me? Already straight off the bat, I'm going to say no, but let me read the paragraph. This is a bit messy, but here it goes. Before I started dating my boyfriend, his friend, let's call him Jake, asked me out. Okay, so before his friend was the one who asked you out, okay? I declined because I wasn't interested. And later, I got into a relationship with my now boyfriend. I didn't know they were friends at the time. Okay. When Jake found out I was dating his friend, he started becoming very intentional about wanting to sleep with me. He would flirt, make inappropriate comments, and even try to convince me that it would be our secret. Oh, our secret formula. Sounds like Mr. Krabs. I shut him down every time, but he wouldn't stop. Sounds like Jake saw, you didn't want to be with me, but you want to be with one of my friends. And now he's like, I got to ramp it up and be like, no, my friend can't one-up me. So Jake already sounds like a bad person, I think. It got to a point where I felt uncomfortable, so I told my boyfriend about it. I also decided to inform Jake's girlfriend. Oh, he had a girlfriend as well. Wait, people can have girlfriends. Let's call her Anna, because I felt she deserved to know. I even showed her proof of his messages. He was sending messages. Because this just gets worse and worse. After everything came out, my boyfriend cut Jake off. Cut him off? Jake was attached to your boyfriend this whole time. like a sixth toe or something? Anna broke up with him. Now some mutual friends think I caused unnecessary drama and ruined Jake's life. They argue that I should have kept it between Jake and me instead of telling Anna. So am I the arsehole for exposing him and causing these consequences? No, I don't think you're the arsehole. If the guy was trying to sleep with you and there was messages and he had a girlfriend and you're his best friend's girlfriend, it's like quadruple whammy. And usually a whammy is a good thing. People sing their whole lives to win a whammy, but in this circumstance, when you get a quad whammy, it's not good. Do you know what? This is a message to Jake. You've got 48 hours to leave the galaxy. That's it. An order from the Lord of the Stars. Not the arsehole, you did something good. It's true, you did something good in both senses. Like, you called him out for bad behavior. You made Anna aware so she wasn't wasting her time with this guy. And you told your boyfriend so he didn't have a snake in the bush. In his bush. Maybe trim your bush and then you know if there's snakes in it. Someone put that into a motivational thing. There you go. Yep, Jake's actions have consequences. It's not your fault that he lost friends and his girlfriend. It's a direct result of his own choices. Exactly. People can't get away with this stuff. And then other people come in and be like, oh, you caused unnecessary drama. Oh, you should have let him get away with it. Oh, you should have let that one slide or just pulled him up on it. No, he sounds terrible. And I hope it's not Jake from Adventure Time because I really like that guy. Am I the arsehole for moving across Canada without telling my parents after they missed my high school graduation? I'd like to preface this by saying that I'm 19, although fresh out of high school, I missed a year due to medical issues. I'm a 19-year-old female, recently graduated high school. My parents missed the ceremony in favor of my little brother James's championship game. Their defense was that he had tried so hard to make the team and it wouldn't be fair to him if they weren't there to help support. They told me that since I'd already graduated, I didn't have to worry about losing my diploma the way my brother could lose the game. Spoiler, he was benched the whole time and his team lost 4-2. Little bit of just some shade towards your little 12-year-old brother there as well. Spoiler alert, he sucks. Spoiler alert, his ass warmed the bench the whole time and his team lost. Oh, spoiler alert, it couldn't have gone worse for him. My parents have always missed my milestones in place of my brother's less significant achievements. Goddamn. Oh, and also, he doesn't even achieve anything even close to what I achieve. It sounds like your parents might be aware of this and feel slightly bad for him. Although he's only 12, so for him to have an achievement on your level at the age of 19 is pretty difficult. For example, they missed my Sweet 16 party in place of his end-of-year concert. Besides the fact that my parents forget I exist 99% of the time and I've been working a job and saving since I was 13, I also have an older sister, Emma, who's 21, who left the second she graduated because our parents neglected her. Sounds like a little case of not only maybe they favour the boy, but also they favour the youngest. A true classic. Me and my boyfriend, Mike, who's 20, had both made it into a great school in British Columbia. I live in Quebec. Plan was to move there together sometime in August, but when my parents just didn't show up to my grad, I went to his house and we left a week later. They were used to me being gone for extended periods of time, but when I didn't even send them an angry text after they were grad no show, they called. I answered and informed them I was in BC. British Columbia, not before Christ, and I would no longer require them. Yeah, sorry, I've just gone back to say hello to the Lord and Saviour himself to ensure you never get let into the gates of heaven. How'd you like them apples? And would no longer require their non-existing parroting. Since then, I've been bombarded by family on both sides. I've been ignoring all of them until I got one from my mum apologising and asking to meet up on a Zoom or FaceTime. Oh yeah, can I just send you a Zoom code? Imagine getting a Zoom code from your mum to sort things out, blur your background for the conversation. Mike says it won't be different from the other times, but what if it is? Most of my family has been attacking me using some not so socially acceptable words, which makes me wonder, am I the arsehole? No, it doesn't sound like you're the arsehole to me. Maybe, yeah. To be honest, you could I don't know, I didn't live your life, and it sounds like you said they forgot you exist 99% of the time. So maybe you were just fed up and were like, oh, they don't even deserve a message. But I would always recommend communicating anyway. Really disappointed that you didn't come to this. I'm moving to British Columbia. But if you didn't want to do that, it's completely up to you. You set your boundaries. And then she updated this just now, 6 hours ago, where she says, I answered the call. Oh, you took the Zoom call. You wrote down the Zoom code and you joined it. Your mum's been sat in that Zoom meeting for ages, just waiting to let you in. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your time. Can we circle back to what happened? Best wishes. I know I shouldn't have, but I did answer the call. Mum made small talk for a while before informing me that she had done a deep dive into Mike, my boyfriend. I had already known that his family was very well off, but clearly she didn't, as she made it seem like I had struck gold. So she's like, oh, weather's nice, isn't it? By the way, Mike's minted. Well done. You've struck fucking gold. I'm sorry for not coming to your graduation. Can Mike send me $10, please? She then began to trauma dump about her life since I left. James broke the living room flat screen TV. Dad lost hours at work. Mum had to get a part-time job. I felt like I thought I was now a money machine. Like, what the fuck? Is that why they've called you up? Because they want some of Mike's money? Just for context, me and Mike are both studying engineering, with James planning on going to med school. I left the call after she asked if I could sponsor her and my dad's trip to visit me. So that sounds like a weird thing. Oh, can you sponsor us? We're going to walk. Oh, we're doing a sponsored walk to your house. Oh, what charity are you doing? Us. For James. He broke the fucking TV. We need another one. Now, Christmas is quickly approaching and she emailed me James's Christmas list. Like, no, I'm not spending that kind of money. $2,000 on that brat. I like the way brat felt coming out my mouth. Mike pays for almost everything and he insists he wouldn't mind if I used his credit card for gifts, but I'd feel terrible. I'm also trying to decide who to spend Christmas with. Thanks, everyone. Edit, I bought James things from his Christmas list before. I stopped once we stopped spending so much time together due to studying, and he's been an arsehole these past couple years. James is still 12 years old, by the way. No, I'm joking. I don't know how old James is. No, you're not the arsehole still. It's so interesting to me, though, this story. So not only is your mum, like, not really like, oh, we'd love to have you back for Christmas. Oh, I really want to sort out this relationship. She still wants James. She would just still wants to look out for James. And this time she's going, I'm going to need $2,000 to get James a good Christmas present. I'm going to need your help to improve my relationship with James even more, please. What does a guy want for $2,000 anyway? What can you even buy for $2,000? A lot of milk? You even use money for nowadays. I just barter with chickens. Yeah. They sound like they suck. Bum. And I mean that. Am I the arsehole for evicting my sister from my house before she claims squatters' rights? My mother's passed away in 2016. She had stage 4 lung cancer, among other health issues. My older sister, who had been distant, finally stepped up and handled our mother's hospice care during her last year with us. I'd bought a house and put my mother's name on it so she would have a home in her older age. Needless to say, my sister got power of attorney whilst our mother was in hospice and created a will for her. I told my sister, who was staying with a friend, that if she needed a place to live, she was more than welcome to stay with me. I made it clear that this wasn't a permanent arrangement and that she'd eventually need to move out. I also told her that she could decorate as she liked to make herself feel at home, but I asked her to leave certain areas like the backyard and kitchen to me. My goal was to make her feel comfortable while she was staying with me. Life happens, and I know not everything goes as planned. My sister is a cancer survivor and has had complications after recovery. At one point, she had to be on a bed rest for a few months, so I made sure she was comfortable and didn't have to worry about anything. During that time, her daughter also moved in to help her recover. My niece had been living in New York City, but her lease was ending. They asked if she could stay with me temporarily while she figured out her next steps. When my sister first moved in, I helped her find a few jobs. We live in a bigger city and she didn't know anyone here. However, she's had about 6 or 7 since moving in, and none of them worked out for her. From what I've gathered, there's always some kind of drama with her managers or co-workers. Eventually, I had to stop finding her jobs because I started losing friends over it. Now to the heart of the issue. Last year, in December 2023, I let my sister know that my girlfriend and I wanted to take our relationship to the next level. And I asked if she could please find a place to live by spring 2024. So you gave her like 4 months, right? I thought she understood me, but by spring I realized that wasn't the case. When I asked if she had found a place to live, she was shocked. Then she became angry, saying she felt like I was kicking her out. She also brought up my house, claiming she was owed a portion of it because our mother's name was on it. But you bought the house for your mother. After I got her to calmly talk to me, we discussed things further. She eventually agreed to look for a place within the next 6 months. This was in March 2024. I told her I'd help her with rent money and moving costs to make the transition easy for her. When she asked about a timeline, I said 6 months should be plenty of time to find a place to move out, but I asked her not to make me wait another year. It's now December the 5th, 2024. She texted me this morning saying, what if I can't find a place by the 15th? What do you want me to do? And how am I supposed to pack in 2 weeks? I didn't check in with her weekly about her search for a place, but I figured she was an adult who could handle it. If she had asked me about storing some of her things here until she got settled, I said that's fine. I didn't expect her to move everything in one go. So am I the arsehole here? No, you want your girlfriend to move in with you, and you said to your sister that it was going to be temporary. But did you say she's a cancer survivor and has complications after recovery? So I guess it's difficult for her. It's difficult for her to hold down a job. But then it shouldn't be on your head to do everything for her and her daughter, right? I think you've helped her a fair amount, like a lot. Like, it sounds like she's been with you over a year. You've found her 6 jobs. You've given her a lot of time to look for places and move out and stuff, and made it clear that it was never going to be a permanent thing. And you've got a good reason for moving out, wanting her to move out as well. Take the next steps with your girlfriend. So, obviously not the arsehole. it's just such a sensitive one to deal with, especially with family. Curious to see what other people are saying about this. It'd be more useful to consult a lawyer for legal advice rather than moral advice here. Find out if your late mother's ownership passed to your sister, as well as how squatters' rights works in your area. They're getting straight to the point. They're saying, let's get this thing out. Let's get this thing and her daughter out of this place. Let's go legal with it. It is dodgy that she's turned around and said, I also owed a portion of this house because it's my mum's name, our mum's name's on it. It's kind of like, oh, I've given you shelter for this whole period of time, found you loads of jobs, and you're trying to take part of the house from me for no reason? Oh, that doesn't sit right with the Lord of the Sky. So I rule that this person is not the arsehole. That's right, and I can smell an arsehole from a mile away. Have you seen this nose? I also just very familiar with the smell. I think my job here is done. I've done enough decision making, and there's only so much a lord can sit on his throne, so that will conclude the video. I'd love to hear your opinion on some of these matters, so if you want to let me know, drop it in the comms. I'll be down there tinkering about, having a look at what you're saying. Like the video while you're at it, even hit the subscribe button, share this to your family group chat so they can meet me. Good to meet you, my lady, my lord, and I'll see you in the next video, or you can press the one on my face right now and watch it immediately with immediate effect.